Well,
Okay, I understand.
No, I don't think you do understand, because I don't think you understand very well at all, unfortunately.
Someone way smarter than me once said that to be pro-life is to recognize the inherent value of every human being, regardless of their stage of development. I couldn't agree more, and I know Michael Knowles always delivers when this wild subject is on the menu. So we're going to check out a clip from a few days ago where he was taking on some wokeness at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Let's get it poppin'.
Do you believe that organ donation should be mandatory?
I do not.
You do not. Okay, so if you believe that even a dead person has the right to bodily autonomy, even if that dead person's organs could save up to 8 lives, and yet you also believe that women should be legally mandated to sacrifice their bodily autonomy in order to save the life of a fetus, by your own logic, a corpse has more right to bodily autonomy than a living, breathing woman.
Well, you imposed upon me a liberal view that I do not hold, which is that my views of abortion come from some sense of bodily autonomy. I'm not a huge autonomy guy to begin with. I don't think that I own my body. I think my body is sort of a gift, and I have obligations to my creator. The reason that I don't support mandatory organ donation is not because of some liberal conception of autonomy or something. It's because that's not what your organs are for. Your organs are for you. Your lungs are to bring oxygen to your blood. Your heart is to pump blood around your body. Your liver is to take care of what I will probably do later on at the bar after this speech, and so on and so forth. My organs are not for you. Your organs are not for me. So you can give an organ donation, and that can be a lovely thing to do, but you aren't obligated for it, because things are known largely by what they are for.
Okay. It sounded like you
That
were
went
just
over to
gonna
the
be
head.
anti-organ donation for a second. I was like, that's weird.
No.
But
But I am against, going in and stealing people's organs. I think that would be quite wrong.
stealing from a person who isn't alive, which gives
Well,
them
I
more
think
right-
desecrating bodies is pretty
more right
bad,
to their own
or
body
like
than-
digging up graves is bad too, yeah.
So, if you don't believe that withholding resources like life-saving organs, which you would die without if you have organ failure, if you don't believe that withholding resources like that means that you're killing a person, would you be pro cutting the umbilical cord rather than removing a fetus so that the fetus would no longer be able to grow without the nutrients it needs?
Oh no, I think it would be wrong for a mother to kill her child. So I don't view my organs, say, as resources, as you've put it in a kind of like materialist liberal way. I kind of think of them as my organs, and I think of my body as like my body, and I think of me as a person, not just a big sack of flesh that can be chopped up for the pleasure of some liberal technocrat. Call me old-fashioned, I guess. But then you turn to this example and you say, well, okay, what about cutting the umbilical cord eventually you do cut the umbilical cord when the baby comes out, but what about cutting the umbilical cord or otherwise killing the baby? I think that would be quite wrong to do, because
It needs it.
your
baby
is not for your killing. Your baby is not justifying some kind of murder. That was the topic of our discussion tonight. And furthermore, a woman's womb, which is another organ that you haven't brought up, has a purpose too. And the purpose of the woman's womb is to grow a baby. And the baby is not just a clump of cells or a parasite or any other dehumanizing way that the liberals talk about it. The baby is your baby. And when mothers kill their babies, that's contrary to reason and contrary to nature.
So back to what I was saying, you love doing this thing where you go off about some nonsense that isn't what the original question was about.
Logic, yes. Yeah, I know. I do occasionally.
Logic
Liberals hate that.
entirely unrelated to what I was saying in the first place. But
No. What he didn't do is answer the way that you wanted him to answer, and that ruined your entire game plan to try to get this gotcha moment on Michael Knowles. That's what it really was. Call it how it is. Don't make an excuse. He didn't do what you wanted him to do. That's what it comes down to. That's what liberals always do. They want you to answer a certain way. They're tolerant as long as you go along with their agenda and their woke narratives. But if the minute you deviate outside of that, all hell breaks loose. That's what really goes down.
What were you saying? Perhaps I misunderstood. I thought I understood.
You misunderstood. So withholding resources.
Right. Yeah, I suppose I
without
just
which
don't.
someone will die.
Yeah,
When
I
you
suppose
have organ failure, not having an organ donor kills you. Surprise. So withholding resources from them, that isn't killing, that isn't wrong. But withholding resources from a growing fetus, somehow that's different. And the
Well,
way
as I
you
tried to
make that leap, so I'm getting confused there.
You are getting confused.
We can tell.
As I tried to explain, you are beginning with a premise that all of our organs are just undifferentiated resources to which any of us might be entitled. And that's a novel view. It's a view held by, I guess, some rather extreme liberals or materialists, but it's not a view held by me. I don't think that it's all just undifferentiated flesh. I think that things like organs have both form and matter. So there's the matter, there's the flesh, there's the stuff, but then there's the form, which tells you about what that thing is. And so my liver might look a lot like your liver, but they're different livers. One's mine, for instance, and one is yours. So you don't have a right to mine, and I don't have a right to yours, because your liver is for you, and my liver is for me. And we all know this, and we all act that way. That's why you're not coming up here.
I don't think she
attacking me
knows
and
this.
ripping my kidneys out and selling it on a market in Wuhan or something like that. But we pretend that we don't believe these things because it helps to advance an argument which is totally indefensible and unnatural, namely that we ought to kill a baby or something like that.
So your organs are for you and you alone. You get to decide what to do with them. But a woman doesn't get that choice about her womb, about her ovaries.
Well, the baby is
same.
not an organ of hers. A baby is an individual human
you get to make choices
being.
about your internal organs, but a living, breathing woman does not.
Well,
okay, I understand.
No,
Thank
I don't think you do understand, because
What?
I don't think you understand very well at all, unfortunately, because you're suggesting that the baby is an organ of the woman, which is preposterous, obviously. You know, the baby is differentiated from organs by its DNA, by how...
Wait, she really just walked off like that? Like, what? Wow. Irrational, emotional. This is liberals and these wonky leftists summed up in just one 2-second clip right here. Just let me get my piece out, and then you don't even get to speak. I'm gone. Like that. That's it.
So your organs are for you.
Wasn't
and you
listening
alone.
at all.
You get to
She
decide
wasn't.
What to do with them? But a woman doesn't get that choice about her womb, about her ovaries.
Well, the baby
about
is
her
not
uterus.
an organ of
No,
hers. A baby is an individual human
you get to make choices
being.
about your internal organs, but a living, breathing woman does not.
Well,
okay, I understand.
No, I don't think you do understand, because I don't think you understand very well at all, unfortunately, because you're suggesting that the baby is an organ of the woman, which is preposterous, obviously. You know, the baby is differentiated from organs by its DNA, by how it will develop, by, I don't think she's listening to the rest of my answer.
Not worth listening to, Matt.
Matt!
That ain't Matt Walsh. Oh my.
You know what that was like? That girl knows something so smart, which is, when I was a young man, a single guy, right? The best way that you could really, if you liked a girl and, you know, the girl was seeing some other guy, the best way you could needle the guy is by getting the guy's name right. You say, hey, you know, how's Mark doing these days? Oh, actually, his name is Mag. Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay. Real nice. It's not Smokey Matt, not Smokey Ben, not Smokey Candace.
Smokey Brett. Come on now. Oh my. Wow. Wow. There's so much. Just so much. These liberals, these wokety woke students never cease to amaze me. And I just don't understand why parents keep forking over so much money if this is the outcome of university education. It's just insanity. And God bless Michael Knowles for always being a strong voice for righteousness and going onto these campuses to just educate and hopefully open the minds of these people that their minds seem so open that their brains darn near fall out. And goodness gracious, she stormed off like she signed, sealed, and delivered the argument. But negative, you got schooled, young lady, and as pretty much does every radical woke college student when they try to take on Michael Knowles. Bless their hearts. And the funny funniest part about this whole segment was, to me, that she's so immature and ignorant, she doesn't even realize it, but she didn't even recognize who she was talking to. That entire time, she thought that was Matt Walsh, another dude I have a lot of respect for from the Daily Wire, but last time I checked, Michael isn't rocking glasses and a Canadian hockey beard like Walsh is. So just try to connect the brainstem for once. And when it comes to organs and babies, this is an easy one because it's a stupid comparison that makes no sense. An innocent baby blessing in the womb isn't just another organ in a woman's body. The baby is his own body that God put there on purpose, beautifully knitted together, and the baby is inside a woman. It's not the woman. Yes, she's responsible for it. She's the vessel of growth for it, but it's not the same person. When a woman removes that human life via abortion, that's called murder. And just because you don't want the baby, just because you were irresponsible when you laid it down, doesn't mean it's not a baby, doesn't mean it's not alive, doesn't mean it has no right to exist and live just like your mama gave you the chance to. And you can throw all the temper tantrums that you want and walk off like you done something worthwhile. But us folks over here in reality, we like good old fashioned logic, common sense, and the truth. And I can guarantee you that this is the hill to die on. I'm going to keep on fighting tooth and nail till my last breath, till the Lord calls me home, till abortion is completely illegal in all states for all reasons. There's no excuse to ever control, alt, delete a baby, another human life that is separate from a woman's, to take that out of existence. You're not God. You can't just take the reins and act like you dictate who's alive for whatever reason. No. That's ridiculous. And the truth is, we should all care about the life of other human beings more than any of these petty worldly issues that we got going on a day-to-day basis. And this is where some of y'all may disagree, but that doesn't mean what I'm about to say isn't a fact, because this is exactly why everyone needs Jesus Christ as the compass for their lives and to put complete faith in him as the Lord and Savior that he is. So if you haven't yet, why not make today the day to repent of your sin and come on over from that wide path of evil destruction that promotes all of this foolishness? All of this stuff is leading to death. When you wage sin, when you are in that bondage and a slave to that, it can only lead to one thing, and that's destruction and eternal damnation with Satan leading the charge. You don't want that. I don't want that for anybody. And I'd love to have you in the kingdom, and I'm sure everybody watching that's saved would as well. And then we can truly be united with eternal salvation to look forward to instead of all this division that's going on. That's what I'm praying for. And in the meantime, I'm going to keep on exposing all this cattywampusness. I'm going to keep on breaking down videos like this because it's needed. People need to see the reality of these situations and start to value life again and start to value what was always morally good and acceptable and wholesome and fruitful before, I don't know when exactly this started. Maybe you could say Roe v. Wade is when this really started to spark this revolution against babies. But we need to get back to that narrow gate, that righteous path that God created us for. And that's to love our neighbor as ourselves. And part of loving our neighbor as ourselves is first valuing them as a human being, valuing a little child in the womb, and also telling our neighbors the truth. That's what love is. When we see them straying off into these way out there next dimension, denial, confused states, we got to say, hey, come on over here, cast that line of truth out there and reel them back in. And we got to keep using discernment to navigate through these wonky times. And I could keep this rant going. I'm not going to apologize for it because I mean what I say and I say what I mean. But I would love to hear your thoughts on all of this. Drop a comment down below. Let's keep this conversation rolling. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, ring that notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. If you like what I'm doing over here and you want to show a little extra love and support, make sure you go check out our website down below in the description section. That way you can get all the awesome shirts you see me wearing in every single video. They're all made by my beautiful wife. This one says created with a purpose. It has it on the chest and on the sleeve. It's based on Ephesians 2 verse 10. I like mine a little baggy so it seems a little extra room to move and groove, but we got all different sizes ranging from itty bitty extra small to big and hefty 5X, a bunch of colors, different designs, all of that. I'm sure you can find something that you like or a great gift for someone that you love. Outside of that, you can always join the Gibson family here on YouTube and become a member. You can buy me a coffee. You can join the Patreon family. All those links are down below as well. By no means do you have to do any of that. Just showing up and allowing my freckle face to rant at you for a few minutes. I am greatly appreciative. I love y'all. I cannot thank you enough. Until next time, I'll be praying for you. Godspeed. I'm gone.